Good morning. We're about to leave to go to Isaac's appointment downtown Toronto at Sickkids. It's a consultation for his like a molding helmet for his flat head, and we'll see how it goes. Hey, you okay? Isaac. Nice shirt now.
Are we?
Isaac. Yeah, so Isaac was crying during the scan. He did so good though. So we're here because we're seeing if he needs a helmet because he's flat on one side here. He has tears in his eyes, but he did really good. Oh. You can see that he sleeps mostly on this side, which is why...
When he's younger.
Yeah, when he's younger. But it's improved a lot since now that he's not sitting as and lying down as much.
He also turns to the left when he sleeps.
And when he sleeps, he turns onto his left now. So that's why we're here.
Feel better? Yeah?
He like responded to him like, yeah. Nee. Look at that cut eye. Look at those cut eyes. Alright, so we are downtown Toronto right now. We're driving on Yonge. Hey, that person is videotaping. I'm here with Toya and Isaac. We went to Sickkids because we went for Isaac's, it's called a molding helmet. So with Isaac, he preferred sleeping on his right side since he was born. We didn't notice until he's about 2 months old that he's actually pretty flat on that one side. So, at first we're like, oh, let's see if maybe, it'll get better without us doing anything, but he still preferred to sleep there and on his right side, and it didn't improve, or maybe it just got worse, if anything, right? So by the time he was 3 months old, that's when we started to actively do something about it. So we'd always turn him to the side, trying to, we'd prop him up on one side when he was sleeping so he wouldn't sleep on that one side. We even brought it up to the pediatrician. The pediatrician's like, by the time they start sitting up, you probably won't even notice it anymore. But, by the time he was on his, had a 6 months appointment, the doctor was like, okay, you know what, we should probably just refer him to a specialist. So we got to the specialist, and that's what our appointment was today. He got scanned and everything, and they actually said that he's actually on the more moderate, like late moderate, early severe stage. It doesn't look as bad because ever since we started flipping him over when he sleeps, it's not as bad as it used to be, but still, according to the scan, it's actually pretty like on the early stages of being severe.
Moderate.
Yeah. Luckily, with Isaac, for some reason, thank God, his ears haven't changed, because what can happen is if the baby lays down on one side more often, sometimes the ears shift. So, but they said that the ears hardly shift, so that's good, and that's why you can't really notice from the front view that he has any kind of like a skull malformations. Sometimes I kind of wonder if, if we did more tummy time with him, if we could have avoided it. It kind of makes me feel bad. Both me and Matt are kind of like, we feel bad. I mean, it's, we're first-time parents, and you can't help but feel bad that, are we to blame? Luckily, we actually checked with Matt's insurance, and it actually covers the helmet. And the helmet is at Sickkids is $2,600. So it's actually pretty pricey, and I'm so glad that that we don't have to pay for that. So he got scanned today, and then we're gonna come back in about 2 weeks, and then he's gonna be fitted with the helmet, because the helmet's gonna be made in like the States or something. And we got to choose the designs for the outside of it.
On the way here, Isaac was like, you know, being fussy and like crying, screaming a little.
And like the thing is, when he was crying, like I even told Toy, I'm like, I've never heard him cry like that before. It almost sounded like it wasn't like a strong cry. It almost seemed like a very weak cry.
And then so he's usually pretty like fussy in the car rides. Like he doesn't really like car rides.
He hates car rides, but like usually when he cries really loud in the car. You know, because he's like constrained, like, you know, he feels restrained or whatever.
It wasn't out of the ordinary that he was being fussy. So what I did was I was playing with him, or I showed him a video on my phone, which is what usually calms him down. And then all of a sudden he started like throwing up.
Yeah, he started throwing up really
like, a lot.
Like Toy was saying, she's like, oh my gosh, she's throwing up. I'm like, what? Like I got freaked out. He's like, oh, he's still throwing up.
Yeah.
Matt was driving separate from us because he has to go to work right after the appointment. So I started freaking out. I called Matt. I'm like, we're pulling over. Like, we should go to the hospital, you know, because I didn't know what was going on. Like, I don't know. But after he threw up, he was fine. Like, we pulled over, we changed him, and he was like jumping and smiling. He just had he was a bit pale, but other than that, he was fine. And then the caller came back. I fed him a little bit. And yeah, he was fine. So we continued with the appointment. I called the clinic before leaving, and we were like, I told them like, hey, we're gonna be late. We're probably gonna be about 30 minutes late. And they're like, oh, if you're 30 minutes late, we might not even take you in or whatever. So that made me worry. We were trying to rush, just all this anxiety, you know, built into like one day, you know. So, but when we got there, they were so nice, and like the guy who helped us, he was super nice, and he was like, you know, he came in, he's like, oh, I heard he was sick on the way here, and I'm like, yeah. And then he's like, oh, don't worry about it. And he was so nice, like just with the scanner, they have to go into like this box thing. And he like had this light thing for Isaac to look at, even though Isaac was crying. After so much stress in the morning, to come to that and have them treat us really, really, really well, it just calmed us down a lot. Especially because we're going there for like his head. Like you kind of feel like you're anxious with that already as it is, you know, that he has to wear like this helmet for at least 3 months, you know. He's sleeping finally. I just want him to rest. It's been a long day, even though it's not even 12 o'clock right now. We bought a pass because a parking pass, so that we can, because we're gonna be going often, at least every month for the next 3 months. It's like a discounted pass because parking is so expensive there.